Okay, good evening, everybody. Mohak, welcome. So, last meeting, we started discussing about the way we listen, and we did some work in terms of that as human beings, we are not designed for listening. And then I believe that we started looking at factual listening, training ourselves in factual listening, right? Is that correct?
Yep. Yes, Manoj.
Okay, so let's have some of you share. Uh, how did that last conversation help you? Where could you practice it? What opened up for you? Anything. So the floor is yours.
Good evening, Manoj.
Good evening.
I and everyone else. Good evening.
Good evening.
So,
Good evening.
so uh, we are right now. I just see 5 people on my screen, so it feels like a very intimate setting to
Yeah.
discuss the factual listening stuff. It's something that after the first time you created it, it's
Mm,
been something that is really close to my heart. All
mm,
three aspects of like really listening.
mm.
So when I first participated in the workshop, at that time also it was an eye opener. And then
Right.
in the last week after you shared that, what really constitutes, you may be listening. What really touched the nerve with me was that if I'm listening to something or someone, then
Mm,
I even may be listening. Like it's not that I am never listening. I may be listening,
mm.
but there is no proof that I am listening unless I have some contradictory data.
Right.
So that small trinket about that the proof that I am listening is only if that I see some or I am present to some contradictory data into whatever it is that I am listening.
Right.
So I will share some actual sharing about where this actually made a difference for me.
Right.
So I was coaching a client,
Mm,
and this is somebody who is like who's one of the directors of a large hospital in Ahmedabad.
mm,
And when I'm coaching him, I have a weekly coaching call with him.
mm.
Then the one of the first things that I work with him was that he's getting a lot of feedback from other people and from me also. So when I was listening to him, I got present to the fact that I'm listening to him just and the data that I'm listening to him from is that this person does not understand interpersonal communication.
Mm.
So I constantly, when I was listening to him, then I was listening for the fact, I was listening to discover that this person is adept at interpersonal communication. I was listening to discover that data.
Mm.
And then when I am listening from there, then I could see that there were some data facets, there were some indications that actually supported that data, which was contradictory to what I believed in or what was my perspective. So then there was a possibility that I could actually listen to him more deeply and more
Mm.
profoundly.
Right. Okay. So, just to restate what you shared, or what I understood from what you shared, is you had this downloading, right, about your the person that you're coaching, that he is not great at interpersonal relationships, right?
Yes,
And then you practiced uh, listening for contradictory data, right?
yes,
Where maybe I have this voice of judgment that he is not great, but let me discover something contradictory to that. And then you
yes,
actually discovered uh, points which kind of were pointing towards that, oh, he's good at it, or he also at least has some facets in that, some strength in that area, right?
right.
Okay, great. And that allowed you to see him in a new light then.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
So it impacts the construct inside of which the whole conversation that I
Yes.
have with him happens.
Yeah. Very good. And then the whole coaching actually changes.
Yes, yes,
Yeah. Yeah. It's
definitely.
like it's a big difference between coaching an idiot versus coaching and a good student.
Yeah, not a, yeah, but coaching an idiot and coaching a not idiot. So
Yeah, so it's a good student. Like not
yes,
idiot is a good student. I didn't say great or extraordinary or anything. I just said a
yes,
good student, right?
yes,
If there were no gaps, they wouldn't be even getting coached from you.
yes, definitely.
So you shouldn't complain that there are gaps. That's why you have the business.
Of course, it's my privilege.
Well,
And sometimes like
welcome, Padma.
Hi.
yes.
Yeah, Mohak, you're saying something.
No, no, I was just saying like whatever I'm sharing with you,
Yeah,
it's all like there is still a complete presence of presencing of privilege
yeah,
in even being able to contribute what I am able to contribute to these people.
completely, completely. I have been saying this a couple of times in the last couple of years. I've been saying this actually, that most of my clients, right, are more successful than me, right? If I'm coaching a CEO of a company, is a 200 people company to 500 people company, 10,000 people company, right? So they have built something bigger than what I have built. So definitely I need to be aware that I am coaching somebody who in some form is, and in many, many forms, is actually more successful than me, right? And shouldn't lose just because he is receptive or he or she is receptive to the coaching doesn't mean that we are like anything great or
2 feet
anything. It's
above the
just
ground. Yes,
yeah, yeah. So being yeah, being grounded into the opportunity and the privilege of being able to contribute is very critical.
yes,
Right.
yes.
Great. Thank you very much, Mohak. So we are taking sharing from what opened up for you out of the last week's conversation, and especially uh, that human beings are not designed for listening, and then uh, practicing the factual listening, the also called as open mind listening, and listening for contradictory data, right? So all the work that we did last time. So let's see. Let's have you share what opened up for you. Where did you practice? What are you discovering for yourself? Anybody? Amar, anything for you?
Not much actually. Last week, I was held up with a few personal, bereavements that happened in the family. So
Right.
I was not able to concentrate. Uh, I tried reaching out to a couple of my, that task that we had this last week. We talked about how we can look at their objectives and challenges.
Hmm.
So I reached to a couple of them, but they were out of station till this weekend. So they said they'll get back to me the coming week.
Okay, got that. By the way, you can also practice this in any conversation, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Including with your family members or anybody, because uh, we are never listening, right? Till whenever we are human being, we are not listening, which means all the time, right?
See,
So
and mostly these judgments keep popping up, and
yeah,
one has to be extremely careful about that because that leads
yeah,
into several other issues.
completely, completely. We are run by our voice of judgment.
And as I'd gone through coaching, I mean, active listening part and evoking awareness has been a very prominent part that has helped me come a long way.
Right. And it never ends.
Never ends, never ends.
Right.
Every other client has got its own background and backdrops.
No, with every person, with
Yeah, yeah,
any and every person, with including ourselves. Right. We
absolutely.
have a voice of judgment even about ourselves. Right. Okay. Nilesh, anything for you?
Um, for me, it was a great week because I was actively participating into searching for the new data, disconfirming data.
Right.
So I went to my one of the customer in a small village, and he was taking too much time to take the decision earlier from last 5 years. I know him. And when I went there and I started the conversation, I came to know that I have a lot of judgment.
Right,
It's not like whatever judgment I was having and whatever he was sharing, it was a totally different.
right.
For example, my judgment was he don't want to spend money. Might be he don't have money. And when I went there, I came to know that he is having project of 18 crore rupees off-road project. Another project is happening. So something is radically which I know, and it actual reality was very different.
Right.
And the way he was welcoming me, and I was thinking he was avoiding me.
Mm.
So the entire voice of judgment, voice of cynicism, I can see that it's like it was a मनगढ़ंत कहानी की जिसको कह सकते हैं. But
Right.
actually on the code, it is a totally different.
Yeah.
And not
True.
only that shifted my perception about that customer, I'm
Mm.
thinking to talk with lot of customer and really listening to them
Discover
and
them newly.
discovering them, and I want to really want to challenge my point of view every day with everyone.
Yeah. Okay. Brilliant.
That's the discovery I have. And not only that, they register for my consultancy.
Mm.
Uh, and as usual, again, they paid very less amount, but what is important is they are committed. They
Mm.
started the journey.
Right.
It doesn't matter how much they paid. What really matters is
No, no,
they have trust on
no,
me.
no. They didn't pay less amount.
Yeah, they paid the amount.
They paid whatever amount you aligned with.
Yes, aligned with. Correct. Exactly.
So you, they said, can I pay this much? And you said, okay. So they did a business deal with you.
Yeah, correct. Correct.
Now, the moment you say they paid less amount, again, you're in the voice of judgment.
Judgment.
And
Yeah,
then again, like, oh, then could other stories will come, which is
yeah,
like, oh, these people always pay less. No, they asked you and you said yes.
yeah, yeah. I got it completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my entire perception is
Yeah.
not only shifted about these two people, it's shifted for a lot of people.
Yeah. So now you're kind of more open and alert about your judgment and how it could be coming in the way, right?
Yeah. One more thing which happened,
Yeah,
one of
sure.
the, sorry, I'm taking too much
No, no,
time,
go
but
ahead, go ahead.
one of the healthcare industry person,
Mm,
I registered him into the Landmark Forum in 2018.
mm,
And he grown like anything and he was doing excellent. Then he met me in 2023 at the end of
mm,
2023. In the last week, and again we had a conversation, we had one program in our city where
mm,
he invited 65 sales force.
mm,
And now they all people are started creating the programs for the three different cities again. So my conversation was earlier, my voice of judgment was ki they took the benefit. Now they are not interested in our services
mm.
because I told him emerging future program at least 5 6 times in last 3 years,
Right.
and I was having voice of judgment. But the way they are participating, the way their team is showing up, is
Mm,
totally different against my judgment.
mm.
Today I received the call and they're planning to have 3 paid session in this week. So it's something really radical.
Okay, great.
So I'm practicing with everyone. Is it a voice of judgment, voice of cynicism, or is it a voice of curiosity? It's a curiosity. That's
Yeah,
what I'm practicing, and I'm noting down also at the end of the day.
right. Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much. I just realized, Nilesh, that one of the clients whom I'm coaching through your reference, uh,
Hmm.
the jeweler, right? We don't go
Ah,
to the name, right?
ah.
In his sharing, I was left with an interpretation or a judgment that, okay, maybe he has a financial concern. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Remember that? And now,
yeah.
then you told me, no, no, he is in a different way. And now
Hmm.
he has paid almost 1 year advance.
Yeah.
And otherwise, I would not even have asked that kind of advance, right?
Yeah. That's
Okay.
right.
Yeah, so
And
it's
not
like,
only that, he paid the advance to you. He's promoting our consultancy, he's promoting my
yeah,
lean. He's like on rampage right now.
right.
And Manoj Ahmedabad program made a huge difference. After the program, it's like we are participating more in every conversation.
Yeah, great, fantastic. So Nilesh is our partner in the game of these workshops that we do and OD consulting that we do. We are a team of people, as most of you know. We work through India, Thailand, Philippines, and UK. And Nilesh is based in Maharashtra, and he is our partner. And also he offers various coaching and consulting. Especially he focuses on lean management. And then right now he's launching a 1 year course, 1 year workshop for entrepreneurs. And what he talked about is the customer that he met in village and then they signed up is for that 1 year course for entrepreneurs. Just to make sure that all of you are on the same page
Very
here.
nice, very nice.
All right. Hey, Manoj, welcome.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you.
Okay, so so let's continue our work in terms of listening. So if you stand in that we are not listening, okay, and then we have a voice of judgment. I think I must have told you that it's like we are watching a movie, right? And the name of the movie is
Reality.
Reality. And how many such movies are going on?
Billions.
Billions.
Yeah, at least 8 billion if we talk about human beings. But about other species will have their own movies. So, but right now we are not going into that because they also have their own opinions and perspectives. That's how they take their actions. But let's not go there right now. Let's start with that we have 8 billion movies going on, and each of them is called reality. And the whole job as a leader is to be able to create bridges between these realities, between your reality and their reality. Okay. Otherwise, there is no real communication happening. And the access to the creating the bridges is to firstly notice the three enemies that we have in our listening. And the first enemy is our voice of judgment. The second enemy is voice of cynicism. And the third enemy is voice of fear. So we have these three enemies, and they are enough to destroy everything. So consider that when we are talking to our customers, right, or potential customers, and the way we are doing our business, the way we are doing our consulting coaching practice, consider these three voices have some role to play. The way you are doing things and the way you are not doing things, right? There is some voice of judgment which is coming in the picture. There is some voice of cynicism that comes in the picture, and some voice of fear that comes in the picture. The voice of cynicism is the risk of getting hurt emotionally, and hence we don't open our heart fully. Right? We don't connect with people. We live in our bubble and don't connect with people fully. Okay, and we kind of hold back. And then there's of course voice of fear, which is of things going wrong, and so we get stuck to old ways of doing things, even though many a times we know that they are not working, but we still stay to the same old pattern, live in our comfort zone, knowing that they're not sufficient. That comfort zone or those actions or those way of behaving are not going to get us the results. Still, we remain in that because there is always a risk of trying out something. Okay, so let's go a little bit in this, and I would like us to inquire into how is the voice of judgment Judgment about yourself, judgment about people, judgment about business, money. How's the voice of judgment coming in the way of your doing the business the way you want, building your practice the way you want, right? How's voice of cynicism coming in the way? And how's voice of fear coming in the way? So firstly, do you see that these are coming in the way?
Okay.
Okay. So how are they coming in the way? Radhakrishnan, do you see that the voice of judgment, cynicism, and fear are coming in the way?
Because we go normally, if you want to, suppose example, we want to talk to someone on our business or any issue, or even family members also, we keep something in our mind and then only we start.
Yeah.
We don't, because we have got an objective of communicating X or Y. So
Yeah.
what's happening when we say this, we do not know how they are going to react.
Yeah.
They may say yes, or they may say no, or they may keep quiet. So depending on the reactions, we have to further go ahead.
Yeah.
So
Don't look at the solution. Okay.
No. What's happening, because we have to continue the process of listening. See, suppose we have started, we want to get something done with some X or Y, and that X or Y is reacting in a different manner. Then our judgment forces us to either stop the conversation or take some other decision to tell something else, which may not be.
So
is not
let's
acceptable.
talk. Let's talk with examples. Okay, real examples. Okay, otherwise we'll go in circles. We'll not know what we're talking.
Right.
So if you look at your customers, right? Let's
Right.
stay on the business professional side of it, business side of it, right now.
Right.
Yeah. So what I'm inviting everybody, not only you, I'm inviting everybody to look at how is voice of judgment, cynicism, and fear limiting you in your practice. Okay, so let me throw something. I think one of the ways, so there are many ways, right? So one of the ways it limits all of us, I am saying most of us, is even in reaching out to people. Like even the way we do our business development activities is all colored by the voice of judgment, cynicism, and fear. Do you agree?
Yep.
It's like if you were to go, if you are coaching somebody else, we will ask them to go full out. And we'll say, oh, you should do this, and you should do this, and you should do this. Right? But when it comes to us, we are not going full out. Most consultants and trainers are not going full out. They don't do full out business development activities. They don't invest themselves fully. That's just one of it, right? One element of it. But I thought that's important for us to be straight about. Then, of course, in the way we design our products, in the way we design our offering, even there will be a voice of opinion, judgment, and cynicism coming in the picture. In the way we price, the way we position, again, voice of opinion, judgment, cynicism will come in the picture. What say you?
Yep.
Mohak? You're on mute.
Yes, I was just unmuting myself.
Yeah.
Yes, Manoj, like when we are having this conversation, then there is some presencing of the fact that where I operate from majority of my, for the majority of time is definitely coming from the voice of judgment.
Yeah.
So while while it is useful at times, in most, like in some cases, if there is no freedom to not operate from that voice of judgment, then it becomes very counterproductive.
Yeah. Okay. Padma, what are you getting in this conversation?
Yeah, just 2-3 things I was as I was listening to all of you. One is, I think, prior experience with a client also maybe builds in the voice of judgment. If you're going for repeat business from them, and you already know them well enough. You know how they're going to work with, either positive or negatively, it'll work. The judgment. That's what I think. That's one. And if you're going with some caution from a referral, like someone has referred you to another client, and you're going, then there's some cautions that that person will give you. Deal with this, deal this way, or do this or say this, and it'll work. So I think even there, a little bit of cynicism and judgment will come in. And I think personally, I use a lot of curiosity in my when I discuss or speak to clients. That's what I think. So these were the two things that came to my mind when I was listening to all of you. That when do I make judgments? When is there a voice of judgment? Something that I judge and I say, or something when I'm a little cynicist. So like I behave like a cynic. So those were the thoughts.
Okay, good, very good. Thank you. Somebody else?
Another area could be fear of failure.
Yeah. So how does that shape you?
So, yeah, because if most of the time you want to be always perfect, there is always a feeling that this is the way I do always and I always succeed,
Right.
which is highly questionable.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. But we have some fancy notions of that. Oh, our product or our service is successful.
Yeah, it's always successful. So
Yeah.
yeah, that puts a
very good. Very good. Okay, so let's try something today. Let's do some practice here. Okay. So what I would like us to do is have a practice of talking to the customer, right? Like what we're doing, interviewing top management, right? And let's see how our voice of judgment, cynicism, and fear is coming in the way. And also, what else can we do in the way we go about interviewing people and discovering people's objective, right? So what I would like to do is give you a chance to practice, and I will play the role of a customer. Whatever customer you define, I'll try to play that role, and let's see how the conversation goes. Okay. So if you're trying to approach somebody, either an existing customer or a new customer for something, and you're trying to kind of understand them, inquire about them, and then introduce your product or service or suggestion, let's see how the conversation can be done and how it is being done right now. Right. So, for example, Radhakrishnan and Amar, you wanted to talk to the college, right? So maybe we can do some practice around that, right? Or Nilesh, you're trying to promote your this 1-year course with entrepreneurs, and you can look at that, right? Or Mohawk, if you're whatever you are promoting, you can think from that perspective.
Yes.
So let's do some practices so that we get real, right? Otherwise, we are in the head. Okay, so anybody would like to start? Be the first volunteer. Mohawk, great. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So
I'm always up for mocks.
right. So who do you want me to be?
So I'm having a conversation. I'm in the middle of working out a consulting agreement with a woman and children's hospital. And this is a hospital in Ahmedabad, and I'm in talks with the lady who is the medical director and one of the owners of the hospital. She is a middle-aged woman, and with a very keen sense of business. And I have already had one conversation with them, and there is something specific that they want, my services on. And
What
that
is
thing
it
is
what is that?
They want to do standardization of procedures, and they want to prepare SOPs for hospital operations, and then they also want to have a roadmap to to build partnerships with more satellite centers in tier 2 cities.
Okay. And where is it stuck right now? Where is this conversation stuck right now?
It's not particularly stuck. It's
Okay.
not stuck. It is going along quite well right now,
Okay.
and it's really not stuck. So like you
Okay.
want to share, you want me to work out something where I'm having a breakdown?
Not necessary.
Not necessarily. Yeah.
Maybe you can expand the whole game.
Right. Okay.
Or let's see whatever happens, right? So you want to interview this person? Do you want to interview this person?
Yeah. So interview as a distinction in terms of what we created. That's what you are saying.
Yeah. Like
Uh,
knowing what is their most important objective, what are their challenges, what they expect from you, how would they measure the success of your contribution?
yes. So I want to take some time to just give you a little bit of background. Is that okay? And then
Yeah.
you can stop
Yeah,
me if
yeah.
I'm going into unnecessary detail. Okay.
Yeah.
So the background that I have with this particular person is that I was referred to them by another large hospital that I am already working with,
Right.
and they already have 4 centers, and they are planning on 3 more centers. So, and for that, I have helped them in designing the framework for how to do that. And this is the exact same thing that this person wants, but they understand that there is some nuance between one particular chain and second chain, and then the strategy that you apply to that, the strategic framework that you use to arrive at your decisions. So they want my consulting to be about that,
Okay.
and so that's what that's about.
Okay. Good. Go ahead. So
Her name is
let's start.
Deepa. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So hi Deepa, good evening.
Good evening.
So Majama.
Yes. How are you?
Yes, I am also good. How is how was work? You look a little tired today.
Yeah. It's the end of the day.
Okay. Okay. So I hope that does not dampen your, I want your 100% in this conversation. If you don't think you have that right now, then we can order some coffee and then we can start. Do you want me to do that?
No, it's okay. I'm good.
Okay. So Deepa, I just want to pick up
Yeah,
from.
you should avoid using names because we want to keep our confidentiality with the
It's
whatever
not her real
clients.
name.
Yeah, okay, good. So then don't use the name at all. Just go ahead without that.
Okay. Yeah, sure. So then I want to just begin from where we left off in our last conversation, and then you were sharing about um, just wanting to go in the tier 2 cities and then having some more centers of Midas opening up. So would you like to just share with me, like we discussed the high level details, but I still don't have a clear picture of what you are looking at.
We are still exploring what's possible in this game. Right. So we're trying to get understand what is possible and how we can expand, how we can grow, and do it in a organized manner so that we don't have breakdowns because we try to grow fast. So I think we're trying to have planned growth.
Right. So you don't want to take 2 steps forward and then 1 step back.
Yeah, and I also don't want to commit harakiri by expanding faster than the organization can actually deal with it.
Yeah, that's actually a very, I would say, a very strategic place to stand. That you don't want to, just do something and then not have the wherewithal to take it to its logical conclusion.
Yeah.
So, like when you say you want to expand, what do you mean when you say you want to expand?
So there are many ways to expand, right? So one is, of course, number of centers, and then the other way is also the number of patients that we are able to serve through each center, and the kind of services that we are able to offer. And so there are many ways to expand, and we should choose what is the most appropriate way or the most appropriate combination for us.
True. So you are working on figuring out a combination of what would make the most sense for you in terms of expansion. So like what you said, what I liked about what you said was that you are very specific and you have some idea of what expansion means. One is that we can continue to work on sourcing more patients for the units that you already have in Ahmedabad. That would be vertical expansion. And one would be we partner on opening up new units in tier 2 cities, like you were sharing in the last session, where we are expanding horizontally. So like we have more and more units which are sending us patients to the hub. So kind of a hub and spoke model, where there are units which feed us units to the mother center. While both of these are great strategic options, we need to really first see what we want to do. Both of these, there are ways in which we can make both of these models viable. But I want to get into the detail of what you really want to do.
Whatever we do, we want to make sure that we honor our brand and we protect our brand, because we don't want to do anything which will put our brand at risk.
Okay. So when you say brand, you want to, I can see that you are not committed to diluting what your brand means for the public. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and anybody who comes across our brand anywhere, whether through partners, associates, or wherever they come across, they should be able to respect it unconditionally and not have any kind of a negative experience.
You are right. And that is absolutely brilliant that you don't want that anybody who walks into your center walks away with a suboptimal experience. And for
So,
that,
okay,
what
so
I
let's just pause here.
Okay.
Yeah, because the whole context here is to train ourselves in listening to contradictory data. Okay.
Yes.
So, and this is by the way, this is an exercise for everybody, not only for Mohak.
Yeah.
Right. Mohak was just kind of volunteering to support everybody's learning, right? So tell me, anybody can share, not only Mohawk, anybody can share. What is the contradictory data that you discovered from what you were expecting to discover in the conversation? Because somewhere in the conversation, you would have kind of, you notice, oh, I didn't expect this kind of a response or something, right? Anything for anybody?
When you were saying about your expectation,
Right.
About brand, so that was the contradictory data. Like I was expecting you will share some problems, staff issues, something like that.
Right.
But
Okay.
your concerns or your commitments are different. I consider as my judgment about it.
Right. Okay. So you were listening for a particular set of concerns and problems, and what you heard was a different set of concerns and problems.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Got that. Thank you. Somebody else?
Manoj, I just before we
Yeah, go
take
ahead.
more, this is a replica of the conversation that I had with her. Like exact same conversation, and it went along quite well. Actually. And I will share with you the contradictory data that I discovered.
Right.
And so when I was speaking with her, I was operating from a boundary. ये लोग डॉक्टर है, MD कर लिया, इसको क्या vertical expansion, horizontal expansion, cost quality dance कुछ पता नहीं होगा. And when I'm speaking with, when I was actually speaking with her, she discussed a very recent metric that is out to, there is a set of metrics which is now out to ratify hospitals.
Right.
So there are some new performance indicators. And then she was asking me that, she was telling me rather, that since the last 6 months we have implemented this system and then we have this data. So
Right.
it took me like it took me a long time to implement that in my already existing clients. These people are already doing that.
Yes.
And it's not clinical data. It is
Yeah.
actually very much administrative business driven data from hospitals.
Yeah.
So these people were already doing that. And then when I'm dealing with that, I saw that, it's not like they are doctors and then they are not so well oriented to the business. They are.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah,
They
one
can
cannot
be.
they cannot
They
be taken
can
for
be.
granted.
Yeah.
They cannot be. They cannot be. Definitely.
Right.
Obviously,
Great.
they don't.
So
understand
anything,
the-
Mohawk, anything else that you discovered this time round, like contradictory to what you were expecting on this call? So let's for a moment say on this call, you were expecting the conversation to go a particular way, right? And
Yeah.
what is the contradictory data that you got this time?
The contradictory data was very similar to what Nilesh was sharing. That it was contradictory to me that when I am asking her about what is most important to her,
Yeah.
and the first thing that comes out is like my brand.
Mhm.
So for most, so what where I was listening from was the answer that I was expecting was like immediate return on revenue on the capital that I
Right.
employ.
Right.
We are an asset heavy industry, so when will I get my money back if we do vertical expansion? When will I get my money back if we do horizontal expansion?
Right.
So I was expecting something like that, and since I know how technically you are high up in the whole business thing, so I was expecting some kind of that. And then
Yeah.
no, I think I am worried about my brand. So that was the data.
Yes. And yeah, and it just kind of it just shows up. Different things show up, right? And we are then if we are going there stuck with what we want to offer, and if you don't really listen to what their challenges are, then there is a mismatch in what you are offering and what they are expecting.
Yes.
And they may not say it. It's just that it will show up in different forms.
Yes.
And sometimes it shows up in you getting a smaller business than what you could have got, or sometimes it will show up in your projects getting delayed, or they're saying, okay, we don't have a better option, so we will work with you. But in their head, they're like, okay, he's an ordinary guy, right? And sometimes they may just kind of not do business with you and say, fine, either not do the project at all, or maybe do it with somebody else. A lot of things can happen because we don't listen. Right?
Sometimes too much of enthusiasm also will kill the entire opportunities also sometimes.
Yeah, but I'm more focusing right now on our listening. Okay, so and our lack of listening.
Yeah.
Great. So Mohawk, thank you very much. This was good contribution from you, and
Thank
I hope it will kind of keep all of us alert. Okay. Great. So let's do one more practice.
One second, I'm just on a webinar. I just
Yeah. Okay. Padma, you want to do a practice?
What should you be?
Yeah, you tell me your target customer.
Maybe a college owner
Okay, sure.
who wants. This is what I'm actually going through right now.
Yes, yeah.
Who wants to ensure that the soft skill training is going on well, so that the students get better placements and better internships.
Okay.
And they do well in their internships. Basically, the college reputation has to be good. That kind of a thing.
Okay.
And students are from tier 2, tier 3 cities.
Okay.
With a regional background, not so much. They're not so exposed to the metros.
I got that part. I got that
Yeah.
part.
Okay.
So tell me, what is the challenge you're facing in getting the response you need? What is the response you want, and what is the challenge you're facing in that?
I'm not able to get clarity on what they want in the training program. They need a training program for their students.
Okay.
I'm not able to get what is it that they want. I have some thoughts in my head, but I don't want to put it across to them
Okay.
till I understand what their need is and what how they want to structure it. What is it that they're going to give me to make
Okay.
it successful?
Okay, good, got it. Let's try. Okay, experiment. It's an experiment, so don't worry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Uh,
So you can keep my name as what it is. It's a good name. I like
Manoj. Okay.
it.
Yeah, I call that guy by his name only. He's much younger than me. So
Yeah. So you can call Manoj.
yeah. So hi Manoj. It's thank you for your time again today.
Welcome.
We've had one short discussion, as you realize, as you remember last week, and since we couldn't complete it on time, I mean, since we couldn't complete it in the given time, I thought it would be a good thing to kind of discuss and see how we can take the solution, that the proposed solution forward.
What's the solution? What are you proposing?
I just want to understand from you. Last time we discussed that the students are not good at their speaking skills. That's what you said, and they're not. They need to be trained on how to behave during their internship, so that they can be placed in the same company. They can be absorbed by the company.
Okay.
That is what we stopped at. So we have to structure a training program. So I just want to understand from you what your thought is on this. That will help me put together something, put together a schedule and a training program, and send you a draft.
No, I think we are open. What you're saying is right, and we should go ahead. So we are open. I think the couple of what you should keep in mind is one is the schedule, their schedule, and it should work well with their schedule, right? And yeah, and their financial condition and all that. So it should also fit their budget. So that's what you should keep in mind, I think.
Yeah. So the other thing is here there was no money actually, but anyway we can go with the money part of it. There's no problem. The college was paying. The students are not paying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so is it that the students are going to pay this, bear the cost for this program, or is it the college going to bear it?
Let's see. You give the quotation. You give what you think, and we'll see. Some people recommend that they will participate better if they have to pay something.
Yeah, which is also what I realized.
Because otherwise, people, if it is free, then they don't participate well. Then all the efforts that you will do will go waste.
Yeah, so it's a good thought if the students pay at least a part of it, and if it's structured it that way.
Yeah, they need to attend and they need to do some work there, right? It won't happen that you will go through some magic wand for them.
There is no magic wand. Definitely, there is no magic wand. And my realization in another institution has been similar, where the management.
So, what is the structure that you have used, or what is the structure that you are recommending?
The structure that I am recommending is to be very specific about the learning outcomes with respect to speaking skills. What exactly are they? What one learning outcome am I going to focus on each session, which will be signed off?
No, that is fine. Overall, what is the game? What is the plan?
So we will have 15 sessions for them of 1 hour each.
Okay.
And of which at least 5 will be dedicated to individual speaking opportunities, where they will they speak on, they will research companies and present, the internship companies, they will research. And the remaining 10 sessions, we will have about 3 or 4 of them on the internship interviews, how they should attend the internship interviews, along with a proper resume that they will prepare. And the last 2 sessions will be on role playing the internship situations, some internship situations, and how they should handle them. So they'll get an idea of what their internship managers could probably put them through, some difficult situations, and how do they handle them tactfully and well to keep up the institutional pride and the outlook, the institutional, what is the word? I'm not getting it. Institutional.
So what is the problem that you're trying to fix here?
That's what you've stated in our last meeting. As per the details you have stated in our last meeting, where students are not able to speak confidently, and students need to understand that the internship is a route to placement.
Okay. Right. So fair enough. So I think what you should do is you create your plan and create a small 15-minute presentation of your plan and present it to the students and let them sign up for it.
And when can I will send you the proposal and the presentation, say in a couple of days. And
yeah, go ahead.
And when can I meet the students?
Yeah, I think you can coordinate with the head and you can even run your proposal through them. And you know Mr. Mohak there, you can talk to him and you can sort that out. So whatever you're planning, if the students are aligned, right, you can experiment.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Okay. So let's pause here, right?
Okay. I'm sorry, I went out of my role play in that.
No. I think you did exactly what you could be doing in that role play. I didn't find it anything off at all.
Okay, no, I was just started to say that the management was paying for it. I should have just
No, it's
continued.
okay. No, that's okay. I think that's also fair.
Okay.
So because people keep changing their thought process.
Right.
And earlier, they might have thought, we'll pay. Then somebody must have said, okay, no. So everybody is prone to influence.
Oh God, I'm really struggling because there's no credit for that course. There's no management is paying for it. There's no interest for students. Nobody wants to come for the course. So I don't try to figure out how to make them interested in the course. And I they know how passionate and how much I prepare and go and make it interactive. The management knows that, but these kids are all horrible. Okay. Anyways.
So now let's look at, and I think this should be useful for Radhakrishnan and Amar also.
Yes.
They are trying to be in the same industry.
That's why I took this.
Yeah. So tell me, what is the contradictory data that you discovered here? What was, and how your voice of judgment, cynicism, and fear got triggered? So anybody can start. Yeah. Go ahead, Manoj Kumar.
Okay. Actually, from this conversation, I find that that clarity of the objective is the must. If that is clear, then only we can work together and find a good solution.
Yeah, but what I'm looking for, Manoj, here is how is see, we are training ourselves in listening right now. Okay, we are not training in 10,000 other things. So getting into the world of the customer, and for that we have to get out of our world. Right?
Okay.
So each one of us is watching a movie called reality. So you are in your own movie and the customer is in their movie. And unless you can get out of your movie, you cannot get into the world of the customer. You won't know what is going on there, right? So the point is to discover the world of the customer. And the way you discover is by noticing new data, contradictory data, than what is fitting your current logic. Yeah, so that's what we are trying to develop here. You understand, Manoj, what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand that. And also, I understand that Padma ma'am is not very much clear. I am finding
Don't go
their
there. Don't go there.
situation.
Manoj, don't
Okay,
go
okay.
there.
Right, right.
Go. What did you learn? Okay. This
Okay,
is because you don't know what is going on in Padma's head. Okay.
okay,
And you can make your own interpretations around it, but that won't make any difference.
right.
What you want to look at is, as the conversation was going on, what is the voice of opinion and judgment that came up? Like one of the opinion and judgment that came up is Padma ma'am is not ready, right? That's an opinion and judgment, and you have to notice that it's not reality. It's just an opinion and judgment. Or another way to say
Right.
that it's your reality. It doesn't
Okay,
mean it's everybody's reality,
okay,
right? But when you don't
right,
see that way, you think, oh, this is real, and then you go on that track, and then you miss out that there are 8 billion realities, not one reality.
right.
Right? Does that help you?
Yes.
Yeah, yes, yes.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Somebody else? Padma, you can go ahead. What did you see for yourself? Where did your voice of opinion, judgment, cynicism, fear get triggered? And where was
I didn't have it. There was no fear at all. No fear.
Okay, okay.
I think it went on very cordially and smoothly, sir.
Yeah, cordially is.
I'm not finding it controversy. What I mean to say, no controversy.
No. No. What did you say?
No contradictions.
Okay.
To listen.
Yeah, then you're not listening. Remember, if you didn't discover contradictory data, then there is no proof that you were listening.
Or maybe I'm having a judgment on what is being discussed.
Yeah.
Because we are also about to do that project. So
Yeah. So what is the judgment?
judgment is see what is expected. She expected something from you.
Yeah.
What you are going to say, you exactly told same thing. Like you make the
No,
presentation.
no. So just imagine yourself in Padma's place, right?
Yeah.
What was the voice of judgment, cynicism, fear for you, or what was the contradictory data for you?
There is no contradictory data as such we couldn't get from what you told.
Yeah, so that's the whole problem.
Yeah, maybe that's
when you don't discover a contradictory data, it means there's no proof that you were listening.
It's true.
By the way, it was polite, but it was actually, if you didn't realize it, this was end of your game. I have put you in so much trouble that you're not going to realize it now. Okay, so Amar, anything for you? You're on mute.
Good, mute.
To me, it looked like, it's again, what was more contradictory to me was that there was nothing coming out from you when she asked about the budget, anything commercial. So you simply said that you have to ask the students. I mean, you put it up to the students and then we'll take a call.
Yeah, I didn't say that, by the way.
No, he said you send your proposal.
Proposal, but it was all very vague, no?
No, so I have to quote, no? I have to quote and then it will be put to the students. I have to make a presentation to the students.
See, it is vague in your reality. Not vague in my reality as a customer. I am very clear, right, that she needs to propose and then we will see. And I am also very clear that students should pay. Now, how much they should pay and all that, I have not said anything. But there's nothing vague for me. It's just that it was, you are expecting an answer. That's what I'm saying. You were expecting an answer and you didn't get that answer. And that should be a wake-up call. Oh, we are not on the same planet. See, most probably, you expected more answers.
True.
That's right.
Yeah, the mind was working towards that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, why should I, as a customer, give you all the answers?
All the data.
Right? I want to see what you are going to come up with. See, one of the problems that many people face is they go to the customer or they go to the boss or they go to people of authority with a blank page. and asking for, okay, what do you want? This is like, okay, what are you offering?
Mm.
First tell me what you are offering, then we will see, right? Okay, Padma, anything for you?
Nothing really. I
Okay.
base my conversations on outcomes and very specific outcomes. Is that a good way to go ahead?
Yeah, so we'll go there, but let's just see, where was my response different than what you expected?
The only thing, the money part, where I was expecting the college to fund it, and suddenly it was thrown at me that the students had to pay.
Okay, so that's
yeah.
one, right? Where
Yeah.
else?
Whereas that I had to coordinate with somebody else in the institution, where I was actually talking to you all the time. And you said,
Yeah.
you know that person, I know that person. But like
Right.
now I have to coordinate with him. Maybe that's another this thing to crack.
Yeah.
Roadblock
It's
to
not
crack.
unexpected.
Yes. Right.
So those were the two. And whether the students will, finally want this program or not was going on in my head towards the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. The main roadblock would be that. If
Yes.
yeah.
Right. So actually, politely, the whole game got changed.
Yeah.
Yep.
You came
Which is
to
what
play-
happens in most
Yeah.
such business
Yeah.
conversations.
You came to play cricket, and we are now playing football. And
That's true.
and just because it was not, just because it was polite, it doesn't mean it was not brutal.
Yeah.
It was brutal to your business plan, right?
Yeah, but in such situations also one should not lose hope. Send the proposal and see what happens, no?
No, that is all fine.
That is different. Yeah.
What we are saying is training ourselves to listen to their objectives, and
Correct.
then seeing how much we are stuck with our own thought process and our expectations.
In our own reality, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like you're expecting the college to tell you what should be the structure and what should be this. They may tell you, they may not.
Correct.
Right. So go and because you didn't have a plan, or you had to come up with a plan, right? So that is like just kind of being present to that their world is different.
No, even if I have a plan, I have to present it as if it is made for them. So
Yeah.
I need to know the outcomes from them. So even if I have a plan which works for them, I cannot say I have a ready plan.
Yeah. Okay.
I wouldn't say it as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let's pause here and let's
Yeah.
look at any questions. I know we are overshot time. Some just if you need to log out, you can. But if you have a question, Padma or anybody, you can ask a question so that we can close this properly.
Was there any poor listening from our end, both Mohak and myself?
No, I don't. I don't think it's a poor listening issue. It's more about willing to discover different directions.
Okay.
There is a direction that you were thinking, and maybe the clients are in a different direction.
So there's a
Yeah.
curveball that comes.
Yes.
Figure out how to
Yeah.
dive or dodge it,
Yeah.
dodge it
And-
or catch it.
And the other thing that I saw, and right now just reflecting, is for the three of you especially, that is Amar and Radhakrishnan and you, is you are selling something where the end beneficiary is the student,
Yeah.
Yes.
right? And if you are not in the world, in their world, and creating something which is really going to, like something
Help
that
them,
they want, not something that they should have, but something that they want. Right? If you're not in their world, then and you're just selling to the
No.
principal
It's not-
or the trustee or something, there is a risk there,
That's not
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a risk there, right? And so maybe it might be a good idea to do the research if you're not done the research, or if you've done the research, then present that research.
Mm.
So, but if I can say that if you worked with students, most
Yes.
probably, right?
Yes.
So, and then you have noticed their challenges and their problems and something, all those stuff, right? So maybe in this conversation, you could have brought forth your expertise of, oh, this is what we have noticed about the challenges students face, or this is what we have seen. Okay.
Yeah.
So then you would have kind of been able to drive the conversation a little differently. That's just my perspective right now.
Yeah, I did try to bring it in, but you were on another, wanted to finish the conversation.
Another
You didn't
movie.
have time.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. But
Yeah.
just kind of that.
No, but as an owner of the college, of course, you'll have a shortage of time. So that's fine. That's fair.
And somewhere you have to demonstrate that you know the customers well, the students well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Right, and you're not expecting the college to push through a program, because college
Yeah.
as such has difficulty in getting the students to attend their regular classes. Now,
Correct.
if you make the college responsible for getting the students to attend your classes, that would be difficult.
Yeah.
In my interpretation, right?
Sure.
Great. Thank you very
There's
much,
something-
everybody.
Thank you.
Just
Yeah.
one small thing. There's something called
Yeah.
micro credentials that's come up, which I will share. I'll forward it into the group if you don't mind, or I'll put it on
Sure.
LinkedIn. I'll just
Yeah.
put it on LinkedIn. It's a very nice write up on micro credentials for students as against macro credentials.
Okay.
Have a read.
Perfect.
Sure.
Thank you. We'll see
Thank
you.
you very
Thank
much.
you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
madam. Bye.
Bye. Mark, hope it's useful.
Yes, definitely. I was actually looking forward to some feedback about the conversation that we had. So what do you think?
It's more about like really being in the willing to discover multiple dimensions, right? And not just go in one direction, right? And what you say, see, mostly what happens is people who are selling or consulting, they have some solution in their mind.
Right.
And then they somehow blind themselves to other solutions.
Right.
And while their solution may be useful, that may not be the complete picture.
Yes.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes, definitely. No, this is very relevant actually. Only this last week I was in IIM.
Mm.
And I met in Ahmedabad.
Mm.
And then Manoj, you may continue. Okay, both Manoj. We have two Manoj now on
Manoj
this
Kumar,
call.
yeah.
And Manoj.
He's
So
Manoj
you are-
Kumar.
Yes. So you are welcome
Yeah.
to continue, Manoj Kumar. That's fine. And if you